leadership teaching here. Okay, I just had a long conversation about this today. I'm going to read this to you while we start this discussion. Okay, these are the levels of leadership. Lowest level of leadership. And when you're hearing this, I want you to think of the type of organization that runs like this, okay? Because we all have something in our mind when we hear these types of things, okay? All right. Lowest level of leadership. Rights. People follow you because they have to, all right? Now, if you're that type of boss and your mindset is, well, I'm the boss, you have to listen to me, and people are only in your organization because they have to have a job. And they come to the job every day thinking, if I didn't have to have a job, if I didn't have bills, I would not be here. And if people only listen to you as their boss for the simple reason that you're the boss, that is the lowest level of leadership. Welcome, Nene. Welcome, Adam. Welcome, Texas Electrician. Welcome, Joe. What organizations do you think of when you think of the lowest level of leadership? People follow you because they have to. All right, I have a couple examples, right? I come out of the military. I did 6 years in the United States Air Force. And in military, you follow your leaders because you have to. Look, I got a gray hair on my mustache. Isn't that something? Life comes at you fast, right? Okay, lowest level of leadership. People follow you because they have to. Let's look at the next level. Okay, actually, let's dive into this a little bit. All right, when people follow you because they have to, your influence will never extend behind the lines of your job description. People are only going to do the bare minimum. That's what that means. All right. If you have something that you want to chime in, put it in the chat. We'll discuss it. Okay. The longer you stay in this position, the higher the turnover is going to be on your job. Okay. Welcome, Jessica. Welcome, Dr. Stevens. Okay. So that's the lowest level of leadership. Let's go to the next level. Right. And then as you're listening, out what level of leadership you are on. Okay. So, right. Next level. Okay. The first one was position. People follow you because of your position. You're their boss. Next level is permission. Okay. And I'm getting this out of John Maxwell's book, Leadership 101. All right. This is where I want to start this discussion. Okay. Level 2, leader. People follow you because they want to. All right. It's a little bit better. It's better, right? People follow you because they want to. They think you're a good leader. They follow you because they want to. No, people will follow you beyond your stated authority. So they'll follow you a little bit beyond your job description. They'll do more than the bare minimum for you. Okay, welcome, Rick. Welcome, Ty. All right. This level, it allows work to be fun. Okay, this is what John Maxwell is saying. Caution, if you stay too long on this level without rising, you'll cause highly motivated people to become restless. Okay. Welcome, Marlene. Welcome, Lakin. Welcome, Maria. We're going into the levels of leadership. Okay. There's a lot of very low level leaders in this world. Okay. The first one, people follow you because they have to. Think about high school coaches. Okay. Low level high school coaches, non-championship winning teams. They tell their kids what to do. You will run this play. You will do this because I'm the coach. You'll sit down. You'll shut up. You'll run the laps. You'll do it. Okay. That will not get you championships. Okay. Because people will always do the bare minimum. They're just doing it because you're the boss. Okay. The next level, people follow you because they want to. Okay. Now your team is starting to get a little bit better. And we're talking about business. We're not talking about sports. That was just an example. Welcome, Francisco. Welcome, Desert. Welcome, Aledo. Welcome, Nachos. Welcome, Athena. All right. Put something in the chat if this resonates with you, or if you can think of a boss that you had that's like one of these, put it in, whether it's good or bad. All right. Okay. Level 3, production. People follow because of what you have done for the organization. Okay. Getting a little bit better. People are starting to respect you. Right. The first one, people follow you because they have to. They don't care about you, don't care about anything. You're the boss. They have bills to pay, low-level leadership. No one will ever go any further than what they have to do, okay? The next level, follow you because, what was it? Because they want to, okay? So they have a little bit of respect for you. People follow you because of what you've done for the organization. To be sensed by people because of what you are seeing themselves in you. They have seen what you can do. That's your saying, hey, this guy can achieve results. This woman can achieve results. I'm going to follow them because I respect what they're able to do, what they're able to accomplish. It's still surface level because it's selfish leadership. They say, this guy can do this. I want to get something from him, so I'm going to follow him because he has results. It's a lot higher than the first two, which is people follow you because they have to. People follow you because they want to. Now people are looking at your track record and they're saying, I respect this leader for what he can do. Okay? Still mid-level to low level. Welcome, Joe. Welcome, mother of five. Welcome, Rose. All right. Let's look at the next one. Okay, we've got 5 levels of leadership. Now we are on number 4. So the second to the highest, and I'll tell you what the highest level of leadership is in a second. Okay. People follow because of what you have done for them. Now we're getting into really powerful leadership. Okay. We are moving now from transactional leadership slowly into transformational leadership. What does that mean? Okay. When it is only about the job, people will only do things according to the job. When it is about what you do for your people, people will begin to do things for you. Okay, that is transformational leadership. And keep in mind, this is not to get things done in a company. You will never be a transformational leader if you only do things for your people so you can get something back. That won't last because that's not who you are truly in your heart. You have to take the focus off what you can get back and transform your mind as a leader and say, I don't care about the organization. I don't care about the money that's coming in. I don't care about the profits. I care about these people who are giving their life and their time. And I'm going to make sure that they win, despite what happens in the company. Then you will focus on helping your people. And in turn, they will want to help back. That is transformational leadership. Whenever you can get past being transactional, you can change people's lives. You can change your organization. Welcome, Mike. Welcome, Topher. Welcome, Sue. Welcome, Pete. Welcome, Abby. We're talking about leadership 101, how to become a powerful leader and how to change your organization. There's a lot of low-level leadership in this world. And in the trades, I'm an HVAC business consultant. We have a lot of low-level leadership in the trades. Honestly, we have really low level, and it's not our fault. A lot of times there's really old school people in the trades, and we were trained to do what you're supposed to do. You will get paid, and your paycheck every Friday is my saying thanks to you. Right? There's not a lot of, hey, thank you for working hard today. Thank you for going the extra mile. They feel like I gave you a paycheck. That's enough. Thanks. That's low-level leadership. Okay. We have a lot of low-level leadership in the trade, but the good news is you can change your level of leadership. Okay. Now let's go to the last one, and then let's have a discussion and put in the comments a story about one of your bosses that you've had. If it's, matter of fact, let's put in the comments here. Tell me a story about the worst boss you ever had. And let's discuss that. Okay, I'm going to read it. We're going to discuss it. Put it in the chat. Okay. Level 5. This is the highest level of leadership. People follow because of who you are and what you represent. People follow because of who you are and what you represent. And you cannot manufacture that. You cannot try to manufacture that. If you don't represent something that's bigger than a company, bigger than an organization, you will be a low-level leader. And that, my friends, is a fact. Okay, let me see if I can change this camera here. All right. It's probably too late to change it on the live on YouTube. Okay. So if you're someone who doesn't represent anything, and let's take a look. Okay, this step is reserved for leaders who spent years growing people in an organization. Few people make it. These people who do are bigger than life. Okay, what leaders can you think of in this world that you respect, not because of how much money they made, not because of their organization that they grew, but you respect them because of who they are and what they represent? Put it in the chat. Let's name some famous people that represent that for you. Okay, who they are and what they represent. There's a lot of people out there, but you have to realize when you're a leader, you run an organization, you own an HVAC business, you own an electrical business, you own a plumbing business, that your company will only grow to the level of your leadership, right? John Maxwell calls it the law of the lid. Okay, there's a lid on this water bottle. If the company will only be a level 1 company. It'll only get this. You are the lid of the company. If you're a level 2 leader, your organization will only hit level 2. It'll never go past the leader, ever. If you're a level 5 leader, you have a level 5 company, right? That's what leadership is. People talk a lot about Elon Musk, and not to get political, I don't care about his political beliefs. But a lot of people talk about Elon Musk and they say he's not a smart guy because all of his rockets and all of his Teslas and everything, all he does is employ people who are smarter than him, and they're doing the actual work. Okay, you know what that is? That's leadership. That's Elon saying, I'm a leader on this level. My company will only be this high. So I'm going to bring people in that are on a higher level of leadership, and I'm going to let them do it. Only when he comes in and micromanages does he hit those walls, okay? So unfortunately, he's a bad example because of what he's been doing in politics, okay? So, but he's all I could think of at the moment, okay? So who are you as a leader? What do you represent? If you go out and you say, okay, I'm going to have an out-of-body experience. Imagine you have an out-of-body experience. You're in your company. You're watching yourself lead. You look at yourself. Who do people in your company see who you are and what you represent? Do you represent anything? Do you represent anything outside of your company? Who am I outside of my HVAC business? Am I just a boss? Or do I represent something bigger? Because only when you represent something bigger can you really transform people that are working with you, right? People will not follow a leader that does not represent something. If all you are is a boss that expects people to do work and then get a paycheck on Friday, and it's all you transformation, you don't care about your employees' lives, you care about their goals, you are a level 1 leader, a level 1 organization. Okay, guys, button. That way the algorithm will into the chat so we can have a big, so go ahead and please hit that like button. Just tap on the screen a couple times so that we can get more people into the chat. Okay, so let's talk about it. I'm looking at the chat over here on YouTube, on Instagram is over here, and we're on TikTok. YouTube is here. Tell me a story about one of your bosses. Okay, I want to hear it. Let's see what's going on. Somebody write something so that I know that the chat is working. Just write anything. Just put hello. Put something. I need to make sure that the chat works. Okay, post a notice in the live chat. Okay. Okay, that's me. Somebody put a chat. Somebody just say hello for me, just to make sure that this chat is working. Okay, let's see. Let me make sure the chat is actually on here. Comment. Okay, let's see. Hello. Chat. Okay, boom. All right. Okay, so let's start a discussion. Put in the chat now, worst boss you've ever had. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a story while I wait for your chat. Okay. I remember when I had my first heating and air conditioning job. I was working for a local company, and my boss told me, to do something. I was 24 years old. I just left the United States Air Force. I didn't know anything about really the HVAC business. This was over 20 years ago. I made a mistake. My boss clenched up his fist, looked into the air, screamed, started yelling at the sky, and then started running towards me with his fist closed. Okay, this is an actual company. Low-level leadership. I stayed at the company because I had bills to pay. But do you think I ever did anything more than what I was asked to do after that moment? I did the bare minimum. Why? Because when you're in the lowest level, right? John Maxwell, Leadership 101, I followed him because I had to. I didn't respect him. He didn't stand for anything. He didn't do anything for me. So I only did my job description, right? He was doing that to all the employees. 20 years later, guess what? That company is shut down, is closed. No surprise. Low-level leadership, okay? Put in the chat a story about the worst boss that you've ever had. Let's talk about this. Or if you have any question about business, put it in the chat. Let's have a discussion about how to grow a business. All right, let's talk about it. What questions do you have? All right. Welcome, William. Welcome, Abisha. B78 $. Welcome. All right. Let's talk about it. What questions do you have about business? I'm monitoring the chat. We're talking about bad bosses. We're talking about bad leadership. And we're talking also about good leadership. Okay. You guys have been on sports teams. You guys have worked at companies. You've had good bosses. You've had bad bosses. Let's talk about it. What makes a good boss? What makes a good leader? What's the difference between transactional leadership and transformational leadership? I'll give you a hint. Transactional leadership is, I do this for you so that you do this for me. Sorry leadership. You all know the leaders of these sports teams, right? I have a friend here. I don't know if he's still in the chat. We were on a sports team together in high school. You have some coaches, they're just there for the paycheck because it was extra $5,000 on the teacher's salary if you become a coach. That's all they wanted. Low-level leadership. Didn't represent anything. Didn't care about anything. In my last year on that sports team, we had a coach that had such an amazing track record of what he was able to do for athletes. I started to follow that coach because of what they could do for the organization. Until I've started to find out how much this coach cared about me as a person. Then I started to follow him for what he represented. I owe that coach my success as an athlete. Same as business. Do you care if the people who work for you grow in their life? If you don't, you're a low-level leader. And it's okay to be a low-level leader because we all start somewhere. But once you realize, you look in the mirror and say, you know what? I really don't care if my employees are ever able to buy a house. I don't care if my employees are ever able to retire. If that's you, and you look in the mirror and you realize that, you need to start caring. Okay. Right? What questions do you have? All right, let's talk about this. Let's transition to something here. Let's talk about getting customers. All right. So you're an HVAC business person. You're an HVAC. Hopefully you hear you own an HVAC business. You own an electrical business. You own a plumbing business. The biggest question that I get when I'm consulting clients is, how do I get customers? How do I get more jobs? How do I get more leads? Okay, let's talk about it. How do you get, anyone have a question? Tell me if you want me to talk about how to get more customers. Put a thumbs up in the chat or put customers. Type customers in the chat if you want me to talk about how to get more customers. Okay. Let me know if you want to talk about how to get more customers. Type customers in the chat. I'm going to tell you all my secrets on how I get customers into my HVAC business. Okay. I have 6,000 customers in my customer list. All right. Type customers in the chat if you want me to talk about it. If you want me to give you my tricks. Okay, welcome Rocco, Pretty Girl, Habisha, Candace Jessup, welcome. Okay, do you want to talk about getting customers? If not, what do you want to talk about? What do you need? about this, okay? Book called One Jordan by Chris Welton. As a matter of fact, I wonder if he's on here. I wonder if I can invite him to the chat. Let's see. Welton. Let's see if he'll pop up. Okay, let's see. Let's type in his name. I gotta find him on here. All right, Welton. I don't know what his username is. Okay, he's not popping up. Okay. All right. One Jordan by Chris Welton. I bought this book the other day. Okay, what this is about is getting customers. Okay? Has nothing to do with Michael Jordan. Has nothing to do with Michael Jordan. Okay? What this is about is how to find ways to stand out to get people to hire you. Okay? I'm a business consultant. I run a business. I still run it to this day. Okay, I've run it for 20 years. Now I do business consulting with my extra time. It's Saturday. I'm hanging out. I wasn't doing anything, so I said, let's go live. Okay, so let's talk about the idea of One Jordan. All right, what Chris Welton did for a while, and you don't have to do it this way, this is an example, and we'll talk about it, is when there was someone that he wanted to work with that he didn't have access to, he would mail them one Jordan shoe, just the left side one. And he would put in the box a note that said, I'd like to work with you. If you want the other Jordan, let's have a talk. Okay? That's how you get someone's attention. These were people that he had no access to. These were big influencers. These were famous people. Why is this important? Is it about a Jordan? Is it about forcing people to talk to you? No, it has nothing to do with it. What it is being different. Do you know how many people are solicited on a day-to-day basis? Probably dozens of times every day. You get postcards in the mail. You see commercials on TV. People are trying to sell you insurance. People are trying to get you to do demos, all of this stuff. You cannot be the same as everyone else. This is an example of something so different, so out of the box, that it demands attention. Guys, hit the like button for me. Please hit the hearts. We don't have any likes on this live right now. Just give me one heart, just one heart, so that the algorithm will put this live into people's feed so they can learn more about business. If we don't get any hearts, no one's going to know we're talking about business. I'm not going to be able to teach. We're not going to be able to grow. If we can get more people in the chat, we can have a big discussion. The more people are in here, the bigger the discussion is going to be. Okay? All right? Getting that one Jordan was so different than any other pitch. What Chris Welton was getting was instant DMs back saying, hey, you got my attention. Let's talk. This wasn't even about getting the other shoe. These people can afford any shoe that they want. But it was about, wow, this guy is so different. I want excerpts from this book. If you want to grow your business online, I'm an HVAC business teacher, okay? I'm a plumber trades. I teach people how to run trades businesses. I teach people how to businesses. In that, I teach people how to get customers. I teach people how to hire. I teach people how to find talent. I teach people how to run their production. I teach people how to know their numbers, all of that, okay? But when you're trying to get customers is a universal truth, okay? How you get customers in an HVAC business, a plumbing business, a store, all of this is the same. And you have to be radically different than everybody else. My father taught me you have to be 2 times better than everyone else to make it in this world. I was taught that as a young child. Okay, my father is coming out of, he's before the civil rights era. He's almost 80 years old, okay? So him, as a black man in America, he felt the need to teach his kids that. But guess what? Him teaching me that I have to be 2 times better than everyone else went beyond race. It's a universal truth. If you're the same as everyone else, you're going to be the same as everyone else. If you're 2 times better than everyone else, you will find some success. But what does it mean to be 2 times better than everyone else? It means if you are going to look out and see what other people are doing, then you cannot R&D, what they call rip off and duplicate. You cannot rip off and duplicate. You have to increase and then do it. If I see this one Jordan idea, and then do it for people to keep ahead of. Because you're going to look, you're going to see, oh, he's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing this. And then by the time you copy that, I've already went higher. Okay. You have to be 2 times better than everyone else. And if you're running an HVAC company, you're running a plumbing company, you're running an electrical company, any company that you're running, it has to be about more than doing this here. HVAC. Okay, well, if you're on Instagram, you can't see the letters. Okay, there's a letter HVAC up here. Okay, so you have to be better than just doing the trade. Why? Because if you're just doing the trade for your customers, they can hire someone else and get the same thing. How are you going to be better? Stop and think that today. If there's one lesson you're going to get from this live today, what can you do more beyond the thing that people are actually buying from you? Okay. I used to send customized Oreos to every customer. They have my business logo on them. What do Oreos have to do with heating and air conditioning? Nothing. But it sets me apart, right? Don't go sending customized Oreos because then you're just copying me, okay? The goal is to get better, to be better. There's a quote in here, okay? I want to read this. Let's see if I can find it. All right, I think you guys are going to like this. Let's see here. I love good quotes. If you like good quotes, hang around here. Let's see if I can find the one. Okay, it wasn't there. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can find this. All right, I think it's on the next page. Okay, yeah, I think it's on this guy. Okay, let's be honest with this, okay? All right, pause because you weren't using the app. There we go. Okay. Ask yourself this. Can you look in the mirror and say that you've given your best every single day? Can you? Tonight. So right now, where I am, it is 3 p.m., 3:11 p.m. You got a good 4 hours before the end of the day. Will you be able to look in the mirror tonight and say, I did my very best? Will you? Will you? Or did you scroll all day? Did you sleep all day? Did you push yourself towards your goals at all? It might not even be a goal, guys. It may be just spending time with your little boy. Did you do your best today on that? Everybody has a different why. Everyone has a different struggle. I took my little boy out to 2 places yesterday. And I didn't want to. But how am I going to be the best father I can be today? By just doing what I just want to do. Of course I want to spend time with my child. But I was tired. I worked a lot. But my body and my control what I do. I took him to 2 places. We hung out for. When I got home last, and my little boy looked at me and said, "Thanks, Dad, for taking me out." That's what it was about. I was able to look in the mirror and say, yes, I did my best today. Can you look in the mirror today in a couple hours and look yourself in the mirror and say, I did my best today? Can you do that every day? Here's a tip. You are not going to always be motivated, right? You can't always be motivated. You can't always be inspired, but you can always be consistent. I work out 3 days a week. Okay, I'm 45 years old. It's getting a little bit harder to work out, to do what I used to do when I was younger. Okay. I work out 3 days a week and I don't want to go. Every single time I don't want to go. I don't like doing it. But it doesn't matter how I feel because I know you're not always going to be motivated, but you can't always be consistent. What can you do this week despite the fact that you don't want to? That's how you grow a business. Layman, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining. We're live on Instagram. We're live on TikTok. We're live on Facebook. You will not always be motivated, but you can always be consistent. Not a day goes by when I don't want to sell my heating and air conditioning business. I've been doing it. I wake up. I don't want to run my AC business. I don't always want to spend quality time with the people I love because sometimes I'm burnt out and exhausted. I'm not always going to be motivated, but I can always be consistent. Sometimes you just got to get up, wash your face off and say, I'm going to do it again today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Okay, doing good. It's good. It's good to see you. What's up, Liam? How you doing? That's how you get to high-level leadership. A business coach told me, changed my life actually. I had a business coach. I was doing really bad in business for a while. Started my business in 2005, knew nothing. To be honest, I wasn't even a really good heating and air conditioning technician for a while. Okay, so I ran my business for a good, 5 or 6 years, 7 years, and it wasn't growing. And I hired a business coach. He was from a company, national coaching company, and we were going on for about 8 months, and nothing was changing in my business. Nothing. He was teaching me how to price. He was teaching me how to do this, teaching me how to do this, teaching me how to do this. I was getting smarter and smarter, better as a business person. But one thing that he said changed my life forever. And it wasn't the pricing. It wasn't the sales. It wasn't the SOPs. It wasn't the hiring. It wasn't any of those things. One thing that he said changed my life forever. I'm going to tell you what it is. All goods are on the road fixing some air conditioners. That's awesome. I'm off today. What he told me, he said, Michael, you don't manage yourself well. And if you don't manage yourself well, how can you manage your business well? That hit me like a ton of bricks. It's the reason why, and I don't have this back here today. I have it in my house. I have a little toy of Captain Picard. I'm going to tell you why I picked Captain Picard. I wish it was in here. I would show you. I realize that if I don't manage myself well, I do things based on if I'm motivated to do them. If I'm not motivated to go work out, I didn't work out. If I felt like it, I would do it. If I felt like going out into the field and checking in on my employees, I would go do it. If I wasn't feeling it, I wouldn't do it. I wasn't managing myself well. I was managed by my motivation. I didn't manage my time well. I didn't manage my schedule well. I didn't manage anything well. And that's why I didn't manage my business well. When I learned how to manage myself, manage my time, manage my organization, run my life according to a system, I work out on Monday, point blank period, whether I feel it or not. Monday, this day is workout day, and then this is this day, and then this is content day. Doesn't matter if I'm motivated or not. I'm going to do it. Okay? Welcome, Michelle. Welcome, Habisha. All right? Liam, How long are you working today, by the way? It's Saturday, isn't it? I guess we got to do what we got to do, right? It's summertime. You got to get it while the getting is good. Okay. Here are some things. Do you manage yourself well? One. Can you look in the mirror every day and say that I did my best today? Can you? And that's for your business and that's for your family. Are you showing up for your family? I channel. And after whether I okay. What are you guys thinking? How are you guys doing in the with all of this? Is any of this helping you? Any of this resonate with you? Please let me know. Please hit the like button. If you like any of this, tap the hearts, please. Tap the screen, hit the like button. Helps out a lot to let me know what you like and what you don't like, what you want to talk about, what you don't want to talk about. If you have a question, please put it in chat. I would rather have a back and forth and discuss something back and forth than to just come up with content on my own. Okay, I can talk forever because that's how I am. All right, David said, not in HVAC, but in marketing for other service-based businesses, and I love the content. I'm now subscriber 351. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Liam's. Okay, so it's 3 p.m., 3 calls done, heading for lunch. Then, wow. Okay. That's amazing. So you're done for the day pretty much outside of lunch. I wish we were in the same city. I would close the live after, once it's done and go meet you for lunch. Yeah, marketing for service-based businesses. Okay, let's talk about that, David. Matt put was it like an ice cream, a pink ice cream thing with a tongue on it? David, let's talk about marketing for a minute, about managing yourself well. Okay, and I know you run into this if you do marketing for service-based businesses. Lead comes in, we don't call the lead. We don't follow up with the lead if we did call them. Why? Because we're swamped, obviously, right? We're busy, we're completely swamped. But why can't we manage ourselves and work into our daily routine how to take care of that? Because if we're too busy to call leads, we're too busy to follow up with leads because we're swamped, then we're letting the day happen to us where we need to happen to the day, right? I manage the day. If I don't manage today, the day will manage me. What does that mean? The day managing me means whatever happens today, if it's a chaotic day, I'm going to be chaotic. If it's a calm day, I'm going to be calm. If it's a tiring day, I'm going to be tired. If it's a hard day, I'm not going to be motivated. Whatever the day brings to me controls me. That's the day happening to me. I don't want to live like that. I'm going to happen to the day. Okay? So I'm going to say, I don't care what happens today, whether I'm swamped or not swamped. These are the things that's going to happen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So when a lead comes in, I'm going to call the lead. I don't care if I'm swamped. Or I'm going to put a system in place so that when I'm swamped, it happens. And that can be an automation, an automatic text, an AI bot. I mean, we're living in the greatest times for this. Okay. I don't agree with being too busy. I use Google Calendar and manage my personal day. Every hour is accounted for. You're touching on the most important aspect of running business. 100%. I don't agree with being too busy either. I understand because I've been in that seat. So when people tell me I'm too busy, I don't discount it as nothing. Of course, that's not what you're saying. But I don't agree with being too busy either. I think it's a lack of business management. Because if you saw the numbers, and this happened to me, my old business coach, Paul Grizzle is his name, okay? You can look him up. Paul Grizzle told me, he said, Michael, if you look at the numbers, the money that you're missing, suddenly you won't be as busy. I started looking at the amount of money that my business could make if I follow up with leads, if just a fraction of the leads turn into jobs. Now when you're starting to look at, I'm so busy, that I won't collect an extra $30,000, suddenly you're going to stop getting busy. It's a matter of perspective, right? If we were insanely busy, I'm a busy guy. I'm running an HVAC business, okay? I run a full-time HVAC business. We have employees. We have a lot of things going on. I promise you, if one of my 3 kids, I have a 19-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 12-year-old, and I have my wife, of course. If I'm out on service calls and one of my boys calls me and he says, Dad, I need you right now, I guarantee you I will not be busy. Why? Because I know how important my children are. Okay? How important are those leads? Especially when you say the more you put in a system to follow up with leads, to call leads, your business grows. It can actually get you less busy because it will grow your business, right? These are all things that I have learned the hard way. Okay. All right. Welcome to the chat, everyone. So we're talking about personal management. Okay. Please hit the like button. Please tap, double, triple tap the screen so we can get some likes on this live so that the conversation that we can get more discussion in the chat. The more discussion we have in the chat, the richer the business talk will be if we have back and forth. You see what David Farrell just brought to the conversation, right? So if you start tapping the like button, more people will come in. We'll be able to talk about more things. We'll be able to get more perspective. TikTok, I see you. No one has hit the like button. Please just start tapping the screen. Just do it for anything. Just pass the love forward, please. Okay. So, all right. So if you don't manage yourself well, you will never be able to manage anything else well. And that goes for your business. It goes for your marriage. It goes for your relationships. It goes for everything. I had to learn how to manage myself well. Once I learned how to manage my day so that the day doesn't manage me, then I learned how to manage my business because I said, okay, I learned how to manage my day. The day is no longer managing me. So I see that the day is now managing my business. I know how to fix that because I fixed it in my own personal life. So then I go and I have the business manage the day. You cannot chase fires in a business, okay? How to be busy in life so that I won't give attention to what's happening around me. Okay. Please explain the question a little bit more. I feel like I understand. If you could just put in, explain the question a little more so that I know that I'm answering your question correctly. All right. I'm going to wait for you to put that question in the chat. All right. So you have to learn how to manage yourself well. And that's putting in systems, right? Putting systems into your business. Okay. Being a high-level leader. We talked about that. At the beginning of the chat, we talked about Leadership 101. We talked about how to stand out. One Jordan, right? Okay. How to be busy in life so that I don't give attention to what. The reason why I'm hesitant to the noise to signal ratio. Is that a response, David, to his question? This is why I'm hesitant to answer until you go in and put it in. Okay, I don't want to give time. Okay, that is what you're talking about. Okay, I don't want to give time to the rubbish things around me. Okay, this is how this starts. Okay, number one. And I don't know you yet. Okay, so I'm explaining this as if I would explain it to a beginner. Okay, number one. You have to find out who you are and what you represent. Number one. When you set a standard for yourself and you say, this is who I am, this is what I live for, this is my why. Okay, everyone has a why, and they're all different. The reason I run my HVAC business is not for money. The reason I run my HVAC business is because I wanted financial freedom. I wanted to give the financial freedom to my wife and children that I didn't have as a kid. I want my kids to have financial freedom. That's why I started my business, okay? So number one, you find out who are you, what do you represent, and what do you live for? What is your why? Once you understand that, then you'll be able to recognize anything that is not who you are and what you represent. and not tied to your why. Okay? If you don't know who you are and what you represent, and I don't mean an abstract thing, I'm saying you can write it down on a piece of paper. Okay? You can say, this is Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson represents this, and you can articulate that. Now you can compare that to something else. If you don't have that, then anything you're like, oh, I might want to be a part of that. I might want to listen to that. I might want to do that. You have fear of missing out. Oh, I might want to be a part of that, right? Because you don't really know what your why is. But once you know that, it becomes easy to say, hey, that's not tied to that. That won't get me here, right? Well, first of all, it's against who I am and what I represent. Right? You'll recognize it. If it's against who I am and what I represent, I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm going to ignore it. It's easy. Okay. Number two, why is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing? That doesn't help me fulfill the reason. It's rubbish. So once you can focus on that, and I've taught my kids that, I say, you have to figure out who you are. Who are you? I have a son. He's named after me. He's my oldest son. I say, Michael, you got to figure, I told him when he was 16 years old, I said, you got to find out who you are. What kind of man do you want to be? Right? And once you figure out what kind of man you want to be, you will instantly be able to tell and recognize the things that you shouldn't be a part of. Every one of us has to do that. If you don't have a standard clear in the front of your mind every day, then you'll become a part of everything. Okay? Does that help? Does it help answer the question? Okay. How do you fit growing your personal brand with running business? Any specific tips that have worked well for you? This is a somewhat general question. Is it important for HVAC businesses? Yeah, 100%, especially with the personal brand, as far as I'm still running a business that is very much active. Okay. I have 6,000 customers in my town. And this kind of fits in with the question that I was saying is, I have to make sure that my personal brand doesn't conflict with the business that I run. Okay. Every time I get on this platform as a business consultant, I realize that people know the company that I own. Right. So I have to be careful about the things that I talk about. Right. I don't make fun of customers. I don't make fun of trades, but I have to have the same standard when I'm here as when I'm in front of my customers, okay? Because there are a lot of trade secrets and stuff like that. But I make sure that I'm very much conscious that I represent the company that I run, right? I don't allow everyone to come on my consulting channel. Why? Because I'm running a company and we're very much in a cancel culture, okay? So I'm careful. Everyone doesn't get on my channel because I represent something, right? I went on a podcast and there was a gentleman who I highly respect. I think he's a great person. He was on my channel. And on his channel, he wanted us to have, he said, come with a drink, an alcoholic drink. We drink on our show and it's part of that. Well, that's not who I am and it's not what I represent. So it didn't go on my end of it. He can have it. I can't have it because I don't represent that. It's not who I am. I know who I am. Okay. So it has to be consistent. Right. But personal branding with running a business, I think, is more, and this is what I think your question is, I think. Okay. A personal brand is more powerful than a company brand. That's a fact. Okay. People do not connect with company brands. This is a good example. You see this here? You see that's a brand. Okay. But when you see this shoe, what do you see? Michael Jordan. Okay. This shoe company until Michael Jordan. Why? Connected a a human. All right. When we run our companies, like you have a marketing company, yeah, you can read it. I mean, we can go on the side. I can sum this up in a second for you. But when we're running a company, such and such marketing company. So I run a consulting company called Sales Elite. That's the name of my company, called Sales Elite. Means nothing. That name means nothing. Nobody cares about a business name. People connect to a name. Michael James Johnson. You guys know me. You see me on YouTube. You see me on Instagram. I'm a person. You don't care anything about what I have to offer until you find out who I am, which is why a personal brand is easier to market than a company brand, right? Now, it can be hard sometimes to scale past that when you step out of the business, right? So I built my company based on me when I was a one-man show. And when I started hiring employees, people wanted me. Okay, so you kind of can run into that sometimes, but the transition can be easily managed, right? Dan Antonelli is a good example. I don't know if you know Dan Antonelli. He's the big branding guy. He created my brand. He's still the face of the company, but he puts a lot on his website, and I do the same thing, is about the team. I make sure that people say, hey, I'm still active, I'm still a part, but I'm handing you this team. This is such and such. This is where I went to school. This is the project he worked on. I'm giving you the best of the best, and then I'm overseeing them. So you can still have the face of the brand without kind of bottlenecking yourself when they find out you're not personally working their thing. All right. So hopefully you understand that. You as a marketing person, this probably would serve you. If you, I mean, you can buy it. This is an easy short book. I don't have any stakes in the game on it. I saw it. They have the same publisher as him. So I was like, oh, we got the same publisher. I'll look it up. And this works better for a marketing company than an HVAC company. This is, I mean, honestly, read the back of it, you get the idea of it. So I was just using that example today. I wasn't saying that it's necessary. This book that I was talking about is gold. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Let's jump on a podcast together, David. All right, I'm running into that. I already just with a helper in my van. I let him take the lead on some calls, and they asked, where's Liam? Okay, I've dealt with that. Okay, when I went from a one-man show, actually, it took a while, and still to this day, people ask for me. And I have a speech, okay? It's given to the CSR, the lady in the office that dispatches. She's the greatest person, greatest employee I've ever hired. Okay, someone invited me to co-host. I'd love to co-host with you. Please send me a message after this so I can figure it out. Okay, hit the follow button. Please send me a message. I'll co-host with you. Don't forget, please, guys, please like this so that the algorithm can show it to more people. We can all help each other grow. Okay, Liam, this is what I do, okay, to handle that. When I was smaller, when I went from a one-man show to having someone in the truck, what I did was I would show up first sometimes if I had to. Okay, but here was my goal. First thing on the phone, I would let them know. It's because I believe in expectation management. Expectation management is very big. Okay, I'm setting the expectation for the customer. That should be in any company, not just in this, what I'm going to talk about for this situation, but it should be, okay, it's going to be $99. And then when the technician gets there, he's going to do a diagnosis, and then he's going to come in, and then he's going to let you know. So that is expectation management. In that case, I let them know from the beginning, because if they see the person before they see you, Liam, it's against their expectation. So what you do is you tell them before, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I'm not going to be there personally, but he's really, really good. I vetted him. He's a good guy, good person. I only send the best. I won't be there personally, but I do manage him. He calls me all the time if he runs into something, and I'll be right around the corner. Now you've set that expectation. Once you set the expectation, that's what they expect. They've accepted it, and there's no issue. When the guy shows up, they already know, oh, he's a good guy. He's the best, because you've set that. Okay. So you always want to do that beforehand. And it took me probably, man, a good 3 years before that kind of winded down, because we had so many customers. And it still happens sometimes to this day, where if it's a really old customer, then sometimes I'll call, right? Because now I'm not in the process anymore. I'm going to get your question, Matt. David, thanks for jumping in. Yeah, catch me on the next one. Yeah, I'd love to see you. Okay. So I'm not in the call flow. When people call the company, they don't get me anymore. They get the office people and they get the technicians. I'm really not involved. So the CSR, the dispatcher already knows if it's one of those where they say, I really want Michael, then what I'll do is I'll call. Just to let them know I'm still here. I still exist. I'm still overseeing the company. Hey, I just want to let you know I really don't work in the office anymore. All right, I'm sorry. I don't work in the field anymore. I don't even own any more tools, but I still manage the company. You can call me at any time. And I'm always looking at the schedule. The technicians are calling me, so I'm not absent. And then I say, if you need to call me, I do suggest that you call the office because I don't always answer my phone, right? But if you call the office, you get her. She's going to take care of you. If you need to talk to me, she'll pass it to me and I'll give you a call. It kind of lets them know, okay, I see what's going on, right? So it's better to run it through the office. That's what I do. That's how I handle it. Okay, you have a call script. I imagine that's what you're saying, Matt. I have some call scripts. Yeah, if you want, I'll send them to you. I got a couple things I have to send you. I think I said I'd get to them on Monday. I have a call script. Actually, there's a really, really good CSR training course. It's the last Friday of every month. I have partnered with a lady. Her name is Iram Jones. She runs a very large HVAC company. I think it's a $12 million on the HVAC side, and she does electrical also. So she is a CSR trainer. I've partnered with her. There is a course. It's the last Friday of every month. I think it's 2 hours. And she gets on and she trains the CSRs, right? I'll send you that. The cost of it is about $700. But she will run the CSRs through the scripts. Incredible. It's incredible. I'm actually this Friday, but if you're interested in that, I'll give. I see you. Biggest challenge. I'm going to get to that. But I do have some call scripts I'll send you, and you can just have those, okay? And let me know what you think about those, right? The biggest thing for me with the CSR is the call scripts, which you guys put in if you want me to go through the call scripts right now. I'll go through some basic things. But for me, it's more about the mapping to make sure that they're putting people, they're checking the map and making sure they're not crisscrossing and stuff like that. Okay. Biggest challenge I have right now is balancing too much work, but not being able to afford to hire. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's a good one because I wonder, because a lot of this stuff is, we're going live. We're not in one-on-one discussions. And I do actually would like to meet with you guys. I have office hours, right? But I'm going to move to scheduling them because sometimes I'm not there. So I'm going to move to having you schedule office hours. So at least I know if you're going to jump in or not so that I can be there. I just met with Matt on Friday. When you dig into the numbers, it makes me wonder, can you actually afford to hire someone? Because now that's a second income producer. Okay. So if you count how many jobs you can't go to because you're only one person, those are opportunity costs. You lost an opportunity. How much did losing that opportunity cost you? You couldn't do 4 calls today, so you lost that opportunity. Is that $1,600 that day? Is that his paycheck? How many leads will he bring in if he can do sales? Is it $100,000 a year? I have a young technician that I hired a couple months ago. Amazing guy. He's a technician. He's actually doing sales. He actually closed a $10,000 job Thursday. He did a couple service calls and he closed a $10,000 job. He's paying for himself. Okay. I'm pulling into an estimate. I'll be back if you're still on. Yeah, I'm probably going to get off here in about 15 minutes. But I was there. Yeah, I'd love to hear your side of it, actually. Man, if you weren't pulling to an estimate, I'd love to hear you chat in. Next time we go live, you can share your story on that so it won't just be me. Yeah. They pay their own salary, and that's what, check this out. Okay. I was just talking to Matt about this. this is what my business lives by. This is like the Bible for my business. Okay. What this is, I call it a profit playbook. Okay. No surprise, my book is called the Profit Playbook. Okay. Because this is the most important thing. I wish I could show you. Can I put something on the screen? Let me show you guys this. Okay. How do I put something on the screen here? Oh, I think I figured it out. Paper. Okay, get started, switch. No, I don't want to switch to grid. Okay, anyway, this is a 5-year projection for my company. 5 years. Drag the puzzle piece into place. Oh, TikTok thinks I'm a spammer. Okay. All right. This is a 5-year plan. And it projects based off of my past how much a new employee could possibly make based on how many calls I get, how many calls I'm turning down, how many calls I'm missing, based on my average ticket, how many calls I can reasonably give to that person. So how much money will they make, their average ticket a day, a month, and how many leads will they turn over to the sales department for new installs would tell me exactly how much a new person will make, which tells me, can I afford them right now? Right? Okay. This has been a really, really good live. I am going to close it out. I'm going to go ahead and close Liam. I'm going to close Instagram first. I'll see you later. I'll catch you guys on the live. Let's end that there. Okay.